Hello. Let's see if I've got this working. I'm kind of rushing, so make sure I got all the things done. As soon as I see eyes, then I know. Oh, I see them. Good. Perfect. Can you hear me? That's the important thing too. Can you hear me? I just think you should be able to. Just wait for someone to comment and say yes, they can. Okay, Judith says yes, we are good. All right. I'm just grabbing my iPad here so I can follow along. All right, so today we're going to craft, but first I'm going to show you some inspiration from the girls and a new product. So I'm just going to pull you up on my YouTube channel here. How's everyone doing? We got Carol Ann turning in from Alberta. We got Shelby here. Yay. I always like when Shelby's here. I feel better. Okay. So I'm just going to put my iPad there. I'm going to first bring on the new product, and I'm hoping that with my camera angle, we can actually see. I just sent out the email about this afternoon. Well, you can just see it from the top. I'll take the brushes out in a minute. Okay, so we launched a new exclusive product that is only going to be found at our store because my son-in-law is the one who makes it. And I forget already what we called it. Shelby, help me out. It's, I can't remember. We came up with the name this afternoon. It's something about a block. Perfect something. I'm so bad. Problem is, I was rushing to get everything done I wanted to get done so I could do the whole live the way I wanted to do it. And so that's the problem. So Shelby's probably scrambling now. Oh, yes. Perfect fit brush block. That is what we're calling it. And it is designed to fit the 1-inch Pink Fresh brushes that we rave about. So it holds 12, and I'm just going to pull mine out. You can see how easily they fit into the holes, like so easy in and out. They stand up nicely. The brushes do not touch when they're in the holder, so your ink isn't going to cross-contaminate. Not that I feel like I have a big problem with that, but it is made out of hard maple, so good quality wood. It does have a finish on it. It holds 12 brushes, and it's, we gave the measurements. They're on our online store. I don't have them handy, but it does tell you what the measurements are. And then on the bottom, there are 4 little rubber feet that are screwed right in so that they won't come off and that it doesn't slide around on your desk. Plus it sits nicely. Like I use a glass mat. It's not going to like scratch it or do anything strange with it, but it is absolutely amazing. And I really, really love the quality. Kevin has made many things for us over the years, personally, and his work is amazing. And we are so happy that he volunteered to make these for us. So it started out that he made one for Amanda, and then I'm like, I need one. And then he made that, and then he says, well, you know, I might be able to make these like for your store. And I'm like, oh, really? Because we've sold so many of these 1-inch brushes, and I know people are going to be excited about this idea. So they are sold on a pre-order basis. So we're not going to make a whole bunch and just stock them in the store, at least not right now. So we're doing pre-order, and then it'll take him about 2 weeks to get them made and into the store. So the pre-order is up now. They're $34.99, which I think is an incredible price. And like I said, each one is handcrafted and they're pretty awesome. So definitely get your pre-order in for those. And Kevin will get working on those quickly. So that is the new exclusive product. So I did send an email out about it. There's a post on our social media about it as well. And we'll be talking about it a fair bit in the next little while. So that's that. Then also, we did include in that email a new program that we've started. It's a card swap group. So we sent the email out with all the information for that. And we're super excited about it. It is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, but I knew that I could not dedicate the time to it. So Amanda has volunteered to look after it for the most part. I mean, certainly I'll be involved, and Shelby's going to be involved as well. But mainly it will be Amanda that is organizing and running it. It will be so much fun. I recently joined a card swap group, and I am absolutely loving how much fun it is. So I just know that our community is going to love it too. So definitely check out the details about that. There'll be a social media post going up this evening that will link you to the email that we sent out. And then if you've received the email, you can check out the details for that too. So those are two things that we launched today. Now we're going to jump into some inspiration. So I did do a little slideshow on this too, because there is a lot of things to know about this particular product. So we are going to show some cards featuring a couple of stamp sets that are right here on the top. So this is the newest one that was released in their summer release. It's called Shallow Friend. Oh, you can't really see that very well, can you? Sorry. I will, how can we do this? Let's make the view like this. Ha! Okay. Sorry. So this is the Shallow Friend. And it's just a cute, it's got a lot of like under the sea ocean type of graphics. And I gave this to Christina, and I knew it would be right up her alley. I also gave her my platform pop-up products because I thought it would be nice to have some samples available for that. So she combined it with this set here called Ocean Shelfie. Now this is not a new one, but we did bring it in, and we have more coming. So she used these two products, and she used the platform pop-up. So I have my platform pop-up stuff here, and I'm just going to run through the products that are in this suite and how they work, and then I'll show you her samples. So this is the platform pop-up die right here. So it's got the base and then all these little add-ons that go with it. And in the graphic that you see here, the base of this particular card is your platform pop-up base. Okay. Now there are quite a few add-ons that go with the base die. And if you don't understand how a platform pop-up works, it might be confusing when you see them just sitting in the package. So rather than just have them in the package, I thought I would put some images up to show you what they look like. So this is your basic platform pop-up card. So you can just see the base along the bottom with the little scalloped edge, and you're good to go. It has the little grass insert that you can see in this graphic here as well. And then see the little white panels on the striped base. That is what these little panels are here. They do give you a couple of little bow dies and so on. So there are some bases. This is like just a curved landscape rather than using grass. Okay, so that's that. Then we move on, and we have the platform pop-up add-on. So that is the back that you see going around the back of the platform. So the first slide I showed you didn't have a back on it. Here, I'll just go back and show you. So no back on that one. It's just the base. This one has the base and then that back platform that goes around the back, just sort of like, I don't know, it makes it kind of look like a stage. Okay, so that's this die. Then they have the hillside inserts. So this just replaces the grass that comes with the basic die, or just the one curved hill. And this one gives you options. They can be used to look like waves. They can be made to look like snow hills, sand hills, grass hills, etc. So you can see on this slide how it has the different insert in it. And on this slide, the back, this piece here, the one that we just discussed, is done in acetate. So it's clear across the back. And then the next one is called the, let me see what it's called here. It's called the Hillside Wraparound. So again, around the front of the platform here, now you can see it has a big like hill rather than just the little scallop. Okay, so that is a wraparound for the front of your platform pop-up. Then we have the cloud wraparound. So let's move to the next slide here. So see how the front of your platform pop-up now has a cloud edge to it. So that is what that is. And then they have the platform pop-up cloud insert. So do you see the clouds behind the rabbit? Is this not the most adorable card? I have all the stuff to make that. I'm so excited. I found this sample and I'm like, oh my gosh. But do you see the clouds in the background? That is the insert pop-up that you can put in. And then there is a picket fence right there. So you can see the wraparound is the picket fence. And then they came out with the summer release. They came out with the wave wraparound. So it gives you the waves. And then they also came out with the palm tree insert. So you can see the palm trees inserted there. So that is the complete lineup of the platform pop-up. So I keep all of these dies together in one space so that when I want to use my pop-up, I have all the things together. It's kind of like my postage collage. I have it in one of those clear craft stacks. Is that what they're called? They're called something. I don't want to tell you what they're called wrong. Let me see. They are called stash stacks. Yes, from Spellbinders. And I put everything in there so that all of my stuff is together. A stash stack. Yes, thank you. So that is the platform pop-up system from Lawn Fawn. And then again, she combined it with these two sets. Now you can combine the platform set with anything that you want. You saw all kinds of different images being used in the samples that I just shared you on the slideshow. So you can use it with anything. But the nice thing is some of the inserts and pieces can be used outside of the platform pop-up as well. So this card is featuring the little icons from the stamp sets. But see, there's that palm tree insert and the wave wraparound. But it's just used on the front of an A2 card. So I thought that was really clever. So that is, again, these two here. So they're meant to go inside that platform pop-up, but they can be used outside of that as well. I mean, how cute are those palm trees? And the graphics, like, really? Okay, so now I'm going to show you the two cards that Christina made. So this is the base platform pop-up with the wave wraparound around the outside. And then she has used this set here, the Shallow Friends, and the palm tree insert. Oops, that got a little bent there. Sorry, Christina. To make this scene. Now, the cool thing about platform pop-ups is they will sit nicely on a shelf and they show just like you're looking at here. So all the little pieces are all popped up and they display beautifully. But if you just push up the middle, they do lay flat for mailing. So you can send these cards in the mail, and then when the recipient gets it, they just push the center down and it pops into place, and that's how it sits. So I have several platform pop-up cards that Carrie has made me, and the latest one, let me show you this, because I can reach it. It's sitting on a shelf close to me. The latest one she gave me for my birthday, and she knows me very well. So this one incorporates, so here it is laying flat. Okay, and then you just push that center part down. But check out what she created. I showed this in another live, but isn't that adorable? So she's using the It's a Bird little mice and the heart tree. And then you can see that cloud pop up in the background there. Yes, and then it's really cool. Shelby just said, I love the birds flying. You can use little pieces of acetate and they kind of disappear when you see them, but it makes it look like the birds are flying through the air. And on Christina's, she did that too with the little greeting here. So inside the bubble, you can put your sentiment. It says, you're shrimply the best. So isn't that, I'll just hold that up there so you can see close up, but isn't that great? And then this one here, you can see the picket fence is used there, and then the grass around the outside. Like, it's just so much fun. And then we have the little Lawn Fawn guy with the lawnmower. I just showed those in a alive last week. So I'll just hold that up again so you can kind of have a look at it. But yeah, the platform pop-ups are so fun to make. So rather than just making a flat A2 size card, you can just, you know, color up all your images and then pop them into something like this. So this is sample number 1, which is so cute. And then here we have a sample number 2. So this one has that wraparound at the back here. And then see the wave wraparound goes all the way around. And I'm going to turn this because the scene doesn't just stop at the front. She's got it wrapped all the way around the back of the card. Like, isn't that amazing? So, so, so cute. And then there is the addition of that other set called Ocean Shelfie. So it's got the octopus. And I love this little fish right here. Look, it looks like little Nemo. And then you've got another little octopus. And some of the critters from this set here are also in that. And you'll notice all these little bubbles are stamped. And there's another one there. So all of those fun little things are added all the way around the card. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And if you think it looks good on here, you should see it in person. So as soon as I get back to the store, I will bring these in and you could be able to see them. But that's what it looks like on the inside. And look at even the details that she's got in there with the sand. So she's just done that with a marker. But isn't that awesome? So these under the sea sets are really a lot of fun to work with. And they have these punny little sayings that come with them, but you can pair them up with sayings that you may already have in your stash too. So that is inspiration session number 1. So there's all 3 of those cards. Isn't that cool? I better turn these like this so you can see them. Like, just so cute. Okay, so let's set that aside. I don't want to squash them, so we'll just move them over to my cart and all of these fun things. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about some Lawn Fawn products. So this is the Let's Celebrate giant message die. Giant Let's Celebrate. The Build a Cake. Now, we already showed these dies in a little slideshow when this first came out with their summer release, but now we've had a chance to actually play with it. So Tanya, I feel you. I could not stop at just the base. I had to have all the things. Now I have a section in my craft room just for pop, and I've never made one ever. I keep giving it to the girls to use, and I've never made one myself. So I need to put that on my to-do list. And with the new card swap coming up, we have 4 months already planned out of themes, which you can see once you join the group. 4 months of different swaps that we're going to be doing. And I cannot wait to start creating with the things in my stash. See, that's the great thing about a swap. We're keeping the groups small, so you don't have to make 6 of the same card. You might have to make 2. But it gets you using the products that you keep buying. And if you're like me, you are collecting more than you're making. So it is so cool to have a purpose to actually sit down and make something. And you have a deadline. So cards need to be in the mail by the 20th of every month, which means that you can't procrastinate. It's like, okay, I signed up for the swap. I've got to make a card. It has to be ready and in the mail by the 20th. So it's like an appointment. So it's an appointment to craft. I'm so excited about it because I know I need an appointment to craft. Okay, back to this. Build a Cake, the Build a Cake add-on, the Sprinkles border, and then we are adding in the Happy Wedding stamp set in this too. Plus there is a mouse set that I don't have in my possession. Oh, that's a lie. I do. I just bought them. Hold on, I'll grab them. I haven't even taken them out of the box that I used to bring them home. So Christina's using the mice from the Dandy Day and the Bubbles of Joy sets from Lawn Fawn. So these haven't even got ink on them. I just brought these home. I'm so excited. I'm addicted to all the little mice from Lawn Fawn. I might have done a little bit of a shopping spree when I put in our last pre-order. It's very bad. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of these products a little bit closer, just a couple of them. I've got some slides for, and then I'll show you Christina's inspiration. So we have the Build a Cake and the Build a Cake add-on. So the Build a Cake does the actual cake building, and you can do a double decker cake, a single level. It's got candles. It's got fancy little dies to do like the icing trim and all kinds of stuff. And then the add-on gives you a platform for your cake. It has this beautiful icing add-on. It's got sprinkles. It's got little strawberries. It's got a little pick that is in the form of a banner. Okay, so let's pull up our slideshow again, and let's get us in the right format here. That's not it. Okay, where'd I go? Okay, something's going on here. So let's remove this. Okay, and now add it back in. Okay, there we go. But I want it to be in this format. There we go. Okay, so let's move on to our slides here. Oh, this, I forgot to show you. These are just a couple of cards using that small stamp set, the newest one. This one here. This is the Shello Friend. Okay, so you can just see how they've used that, the little critters there to create that scene. And when you get the wave wraparound for the pop-up platform, it gives you all of this grass and like the undersea kind of plants that you can use for your scene building as well, which I thought was really cool. And there's one more. So that one shows that ocean shelfie set with the little fish and fun things. Okay, so here is the cake. Okay, this is the Build-A-Cake. And I selected this image because it's a rainbow cake and I love rainbow stuff. So look how fun that is. And so you can put that cake on anything. So it can be celebrating birthdays. It can be celebrating baby showers, anything. Anytime you use a cake, again, weddings, all kinds of stuff. So, and you can decorate it any way you want. So it's kind of like going to cake decorating class, only you're going to do it with paper, which is a lot cleaner than icing. So yeah, so that is kind of what the Build-A-Cake looks like. And then you can see on the top of this cake, there is this pennant right here that comes in the add-on. And then the cake is sitting on the platform. So just to give you an idea of some of the things that you've got happening there. And then here's another idea using the Build-A-Cake. And you can see this one has all the little icing add-ons and the little strawberries are in there. Now there's also mice on this one. I told you that we have an addiction to mice, but they use them on so many things that you just fall in love with them. So I'm not sure what sets these mice are from, but you can add, you know, all kinds of different things to your cakes and personalize them however you want. So if you've even got stamps or dies from other manufacturers or collections that you've got, you can add those into your cakes as well. So a very versatile set. And I just think it's a really good staple to have in your birthday stash. You know, you can do all kinds of great things with it. So it's super fun to have. So that's the Build-A-Cake. And then just to quickly show you the, okay, so now we're going to talk about the wedding. So I said you could use it for wedding cakes, and this little wedding set that we have set aside right here that I used, or actually Christina used, and you'll see it on her samples. Oops. This little wedding set, it's an old one, but I thought I'd pull up a couple samples that I found using it, as well as the samples that Christina is going to show. So this set also comes with a stamped cake. It comes with the bride and groom together and separate. It comes with the wedding bells. It comes with the little champagne glasses that you can use to toast. It's got the hearts. It's got some greetings, music notes. I love the large engagement ring. That is really cool too. So you can use that for great things. So it's a really nice set to have, especially if you like to make wedding cards. And here you can see this card's got the bouquet of flowers and the little glasses along with the birds on top of the cake. And that greeting comes in here too, where it says happy wedding. So just to give you an idea of what that set does. And then the other thing that we pulled in, and I didn't pull my set out, but Christina used on here, was the Henry's Build-A-Sentiment birthday. We've been talking a lot about the Build-A-Sentiments because you can use them and mix and match them with other Build-A-Sentiments sets from Lawn Fawn, and the stuff that you can come up with, it's crazy. So this is just an example of some of the ways that you can use the stamps in that set to create your own greetings. And I was showing a customer yesterday when I was at the store, all the different samples that we have using the Build a Sentiment sets, and how versatile they are and how you can mix and match them all together to come up with all kinds of different things. So she was pretty happy with the ones that she picked out. And I think she's going to be able to stamp a ton of stuff with them. But this just gives you an idea of some of the ways you can combine those Build a Sentiments to create birthday sayings. So I wanted to pop that graphic up there too. Okay, let's get to the samples that Christina created. So here is the large Let's Celebrate. Let's get rid of my slideshow. Okay, the large Let's Celebrate die, and only one layer of the Build a Cake. So she made a small cake. And that die set does come with the candles, and look how detailed they are. You have the little candles and the flames. Now this would work very nicely with that One Light system from Pear Blossom Press. They actually have the lights that you can turn on and off by pushing the little area on your card, but they also have one that is made for candles. And if you blow on these, your breath will turn them off. Like you blow the candle out. It's a super interactive, really fun little product. We haven't demoed it yet, but we really should, because it's super cool. And then I've also got en route to us the twinkling lights. They're coming too. So really super cool things. But that would be really cool for that. So there she's got the Build a Cake, just single layer, and the Let's Celebrate die on there. And then here, oh, so cute. So she's made a larger cake, so double decker. There you can see that icing piece. That's from the add-on set. And all the little berries and things. Where's the little thing here? So here's the Build a Cake, and then here is the add-on. So there's where the little strawberries come in. And again, she's added mice. So these mice are both from the Dandy Day and the Bubbles of Joy. Now, the cool thing about the mice is that they're always doing different things. So here you can see that this mouse, it's designed to be blowing bubbles, but it can be blowing out candles and so on. So here's another one. This one is designed to be blowing the fluff off the dandelions, but look how perfectly it works on the top of the cake. So they just work for all kinds of things. That's this one here. And then this guy little here, he's sitting right here. So they have them in all these different positions so that you can do lots of different things with them. And they're the perfect size. And then here we've got a one layer cake. Now she used vellum for the icing on this cake, which I think is really cool. And then there's those candles again. There's the stand. There's the Henry's Build a Sentiment. So you can see that she has made the sentiment that say happy birthday, make a wish. So I'm pretty sure happy and birthday are separate stamps, and then make a wish is probably all one. But like I said, you can mix and match them however you want to create the sentiments that you want. And then the sprinkles border is being used on this card. That's this border here. So when you cut this out, you get the holes in your card, but you also get all the pieces that pop out of there. So if you cut them out in different colors, you can use these sprinkle pieces in your shaker cards and so on. So it's a really cool die. And then here is one turned into a wedding cake. So again, we've added some flowers. See that beautiful decorative icing. There's the little bride and groom on the top. And you can see that she's added a little bit of stickles to the icing to make it shimmer, a few gemstones, and you have a beautiful wedding card. So that is the Build a Cake, along with a few other little stamp sets added in. So that was from Christina. And then one more set that we're going to talk about. We've had this for a little while and we just haven't gotten around to showing it. This is a combination of products from Tailored Expressions. And the reason that we were very excited about getting it in was the versatility and the fact that you can make some pretty cool masculine looking cards with these products. So I'm going to bring my slideshow back up again. And we're going to move forward. So what you're seeing here is this stencil, and it is called Dreamscapes. And it creates these, it's a layering stencil, and it creates these 4 panels, windows, all in one stencil setting. It's kind of like a quad. So it creates these 4 different areas that you can then use to make scenes. So you can see here, if you use the right color combinations, they make really great masculine cards. So this one here, this sample was used to make a Father's Day card. So that's using the stencil. And then they also have a stamp set called the Arch Dreamscapes, and they're rubber stamps that you stamp out. And then I believe, and I could be wrong, do these fit in there? I think they do. Yes. You can use these stencils to cut out or to fill in this as well. So let me see. I don't remember what slides I pulled up here. Yeah, so that's just stenciled. I'm trying to see if I've got one. I might not have. Oh, in the background of this one, you can see the black lines. That's done with the stamp. And these can be used on their own without the stencil as well. You can stamp these out in black ink, or you can heat emboss them in white, and they look really, really sharp. So that's those. And then they have some products that you can use along with that. And these are the dies to cut out the scenes. So if you want to cut them out rather than just have them laying flat, you can do that. And then they have additional dies that cut out a frame to mat this one. Okay, so this is the original one, but then these nest with this. Then they also have the ridged ones. I'm just going to show you in a sample. I know I have one here that shows the ridges. So see the ridges around this one? So it gives you some like stitch detail, which is really cool. They also have window panes. So you can have your scene and you can look through it a window, which is right here. That's actually the open window. But here, the window can be used in like away from the scene here and just on its own. And that's why I chose this sample to show you that you can use the window pane for anything. It doesn't need to be just this set, but it does work well with this too. And then they also have the interactive window, which again can be used for anything. But it does have windows that actually open in the front of your card. So a really nice suite of products that you can mix and match and play around with. Let's get rid of my slideshow because I have some real samples that Amanda created. So here you can see, this is the stamp. Okay, so this is the stamp here. So that's this one. So that's stamped in black. Now she's just colored it in with her markers on this one. You can see that one of the dies mats in behind there. And then she's also got the ridge going around the outside. So that's what that looks like all stacked together. And then this one here shows the window pane. And you're looking through the window pane and you can see that scene in the background. Again, using the stamp. And she's just colored it in with her markers. And then this one here. Again, just showing you the scene and the frames and the stitching. And then this one here has the window die that you can open up and see inside. So a little interactive element. And this window die can be used for anything. You don't have to open it up and see this scene. You can open it up and have a birthday thing in there. You can have a Christmas scene in there. Like there's all kinds of things that you can use this little door set for. Or window set. So that is that suite of products. Pretty fun, right? Okay, so that is the inspiration. We showed the new brush stand. Now we're going to do some crafting, which is really what I want to get to. So new product from Tailored. We actually have a couple of new things from her. This came out. It's called the Petal palette. Now this is a stencil that creates a beautiful floral design, but while you're making it, you're also going to be swatching your ink colors, and you can cut out a little swatch piece so that you can save it for future projects. I thought this was a genius idea, and I love the design that you get to stencil out as well. And that is Shelby came up with the word, a multi-celebratory image because You can use it for birthdays, for thinking of you, for sympathy, for Mother's Day, for all kinds of really cool things. So I'm going to demo how this stencil works so that you can see that. Now, the other thing, oops, let me grab a couple of things here. Hold on. The other thing that was released along with this is 4 new ink colors, which we just finally got. The sad thing that happened was that these products all arrived the day that our shipment was coming across the border, which means that they don't get loaded on the truck and then they sit for 2 weeks and wait for our next shipment, which is sad. But you know what? The system works really well for us and saves us a lot of headache and grief. It provides a really nice flow of product coming into our store. So there's way more positives than that one negative, but that one negative does happen sometimes. We just received these 4 new colors from Tailored. So they're up online. They're available in ink cubes and ink pads. So we have both. We have the re-inkers. Okay, so we have all the little re-inkers here for your pads and cubes. So that's all available. And then there are 4 matching cardstock colors. Let me get rid of this box. For them as well. Now, they're starting with this release. Their cardstock is getting packaged differently now. So you're going to see a switch over as we bring in new inventory. And we're also going to be adjusting our old inventory to reflect the 15 sheet packs. So their cardstock is now coming in packs of 15. And it is the 100-pound, but they've been able to restock some of the colors that they haven't had in stock for quite a while. So if you've been missing some colors from Tailored, take a look. I know the girls were still unpacking boxes, so I'm not sure if everything is up yet from Tailored, but they are working on that. So definitely check it out. But the 4 new colors are available in the new cardstock packaging as well. And then there's also enamel dots that match all of these. The only one we didn't get is this one here, the Tiki Mule. That will be coming in our next round of shipments across the border. So that is coming. Okay, so Shelby is saying not up yet, hoping end of the week or early next. Yeah, that's the other thing is when we get our shipments across the border, we don't just get one company, we get like 20 companies all at once. So we kind of get slammed and it takes us a little bit to get through it all. So just keep watching because lots of things are going to be popping up. So I'm going to be using 3 of the new colors when I do my crafting today. So we're going to be using Royal Icing, Tiki Mule, Persimmon, and then I'm also bringing in another fairly new color, Sweet Corn. So we're going to be using that. And that is what we're going to swatch out today, as well as create a card from. So that is what we're going to be working with. I'm just going to slide those off the screen. And let's take our stencil out. So this is a 6x6 stencil. So I'm going to work with a 6x6 panel. Now, the reason I'm doing that is for a couple of reasons. Number one, when I put this stencil on here, it kind of lines up and there are registration marks on the stencil that I'm going to make sure I ink so that it helps me line up the stencils as I layer them on. So super easy. The stencils are numbered 1 through 4. And I'm just going to point out as we go through, and you might be able to see it through the light here. As we go through, you will notice down the side, there is a little rectangle that we're going to be stenciling as well. And when we're finished, we're going to end up with this down the side of our card panel that we are going to be able to cut out with the die that comes in the package. And that is going to create a little ink swatch of the colors that we just used. So each stencil uses a different color, and then you can swatch it out as you go, die cut it, and then you have an ink swatch of the color combo you just used. It is the most brilliant thing ever. Now, you could, if you wanted to, mask this off and just stencil out ink colors that you like together and skip this part. And then you could just cut this out and make these on your own. You don't have to do this part because there is etching on the stencil for an A2 size panel. So if you just want to do this and you don't want to do this, you can do that as well. So it's a very versatile stencil set. that creates this beautiful image. So I'm just going to go through. Now I got the color selection right off of the Tailored Expressions fan page when they did their video. I loved it. I thought it was a good way to show the new colors as well. So I've got my panel there. I'm just going to use some of my magnets to hold that in place. I'm working on a magnetic glass board. We sell these at our store. And these pond magnets, mini pond magnets, we sell those too. And that way I don't have to tape my stencil on each time I use it. I can just put the magnets on and be done with it. I'm using my Altenew blending brushes. These are I think they're called small. And we're going to use 3 different colors of brushes because I can do that with all of these inks. And we're going to start off with this persimmon ink. The other thing I like to use is this Glassboard Buddy. It's magnetic and it fits the large pads. So if you are a person who uses large pads, it's a great little tool to have on your desk. It also works nicely for gems and sequins because it has this little open area here too. So when you're done with them, you can pour them out back into your container. So if you don't have large pads, you can still get one of these and use it. It's magnetic as well, so it works good with the magnetic glass boards. So that's what we're going to do when we stencil. So I'm just going to simply take my blending brush and start stenciling in all the openings. Especially on the first layer, I'm going to make sure I do these little squares as well. They're just alignment squares. They're going to help me line up my design. They don't interfere with your finished design. So pretty easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and stencil. And you can do it as light or dark as you want. That's entirely up to you. What I would suggest, I mean, generally for me, I sort of stencil with the same amount of pressure for most things. Not always, but mostly. Especially when you're doing these squares, you want to sort of stencil in a way that you want your swatch to be represented. As far as the layers on your design, you can switch those up any way you want. I could come in with more detailed brushes and add a lot of shading on different parts of this, but just for simplicity, I'm just going to run through this part pretty quickly, just so we don't bore you. And now I want to make sure I stencil this little rectangle over here. Now, the cool thing about these inks, and most companies' inks are like this, they have a leveling agent in them. So when I first stencil, it might look a little bit blotchy and uneven, especially on camera. But after a few minutes, as the inks dry, they kind of level out and smooth out. And then that happens just kind of on its own. You don't have to do anything special. It just kind of does it. And then that's the ink kind of doing its job. Makes it very, very easy to use. Okay, so that's layer number 1. So I'm just going to take off that first stencil, set it aside, and come in with stencil number 2. So you can see we've started to create our design, and we've got our first swatch set up. So when I put this next stencil on, I'm just going to line up those squares, which it did automatically. And I'm just going to put my magnets back down. And I just sort of put them in places where they won't really be in my way. And then we're going to go on to color number 2. So that is going to be sweet corn. Okay, so then we're going to pull in our yellow brush. And same thing, we're just going to go ahead and stencil. So the nice thing about this stencil is that it does have areas where the petals overlap. So what that's going to do for you is also show you what happens when the 2 colors combine together. Sometimes when that happens, you create new colors. Sometimes when you do it, you create mud. And if that's happening, you probably don't want to, you'll probably want to remember or make a note that those colors don't blend well together. It doesn't mean you can't use them together. It just means you can't overlap them. And that's kind of a good thing to know when you're swatching things out as well. Now, I'm not too concerned about the alignment squares anymore because as long as they're stenciled in one time, then I will be able to line up my stencils. But you do want to make sure if you're doing the swatch that you do that piece on the side. Okay. So you can see how fast this is. And I'm even talking. I could do it much faster if I wasn't doing the live. So it's super quick and easy to make this panel. Okay, stencil number 3. We're just going to bring that in. Again, line up the squares. Just make sure they're all lined up. plunk my magnets on here. Okay, and now we're going to switch out to the next color, which is the Tiki Mule. And I'm going to bring in my teal brush. Now, I did use this for both of the teal colors. One is lighter than the other. So I'm just going to take this and rub it off on my microfiber cloth. So we sell these cloths. These are, I think if you actually type my name or even the word cloth in our search bar, it's going to come up as Carolyn's favorite microfiber cloth. I love these things, but I do this with my brushes just to be sure I have most of the ink off. If you are a person who has brushes for light and dark colors, you'll want to pick your darker color. And then I go in again, light-handed to start, and start blending in this new teal color, Tiki Mule. I love it. So all of these colors do blend very nicely together. Like I said, I saw this color combination on one of Taylor's videos when she did the release, and I thought, you know what? I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'll just case it and share it with all you guys. So what do you guys think of this idea? Do you see yourself using it? I think it's a brilliant idea. Again, I'm just going to make sure I fill in that square. And this is a bigger area, so go in with a lighter hand first and then start increasing pressure to build up that ink. And that's where you're going to get that nice smooth blend, and kind of swirl it around in the other direction. And same thing with these areas that you're doing on your design as well. Light hand at first, swirl in different directions, and then add pressure as you go. Yeah, I love it too. I think it's really cool. Okay, so that's the third color. Now we're going to lift that off. You can see the design is starting to take place over here too, which is pretty exciting because you're going to end up with something to make a card. All right, so now we're just going to plunk on the last level, and this one is a lighter color. So this is Royal Icing. So this is where I want to make sure I get most of that ink off of my blending brush, because I don't want the heavier color to take over. And these microfiber cloths are excellent for this. So whatever they're made of, they just kind of grab the ink off your bristles. And I use these cloths all the time to clean my brushes once I'm done with them and I go to put them away, because it gets most of the ink out of them. And that way they don't dry all crusty and yucky. Because who wants crusty, yucky brushes? Okay, so this is a much lighter color. So it's going to appear that way when you're blending. It might think, oh, I don't have any ink on there. Well, it's a much lighter color. So you want to, again, start out light, and then you can increase pressure. And with this stencil design, you can certainly use more than 4 colors, but you're going to get 4 swatch spots. So it's kind of made easy for you. But you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, and now our last swatch spot. And because this is a lighter color, it takes a little longer to build up the color. And it's one that might look a little bit blotchy when you first do it, because see how it looks a little bit splotchy, but that levels out kind of on its own. Yes, and this is called the Tailored Expressions Petal Palette with Die combo. And like I said, it is not specific to tailored products. You can use it for anything. Okay, so there we go. Now we have this beautiful floral design that we can use on a card front, and we have our swatch palette. So when you go to die cut this out, you can do it a couple of different ways. You lay the die over top. Now the die is a little bit smaller than your actual swatch width, which is nice because then your swatch is going to go right to the edge. Now you can have, see how there's spaces in between each color? You can move the die down so that you have the white space on the bottom as well, or you can pull it right up, which gives you more white space on the top. So you can kind of play around with how you want it. Now I decided I liked the little white space at the bottom. It kind of reminds me of the little paint swatches that you get at the, like at Home Depot when you're doing, you want to take the paint chips home. So that's what I was kind of going with my look. So you can have that space at the bottom that's white, or you can just move your die up a little bit more and it'll give you a little more white space at the top and a little less down here, or none at all, whatever you prefer. So that is what I did. And then what I did is I actually just wrote the colors on here. With their new color releases, they're coming out with a sticker sheet and one stamp that goes with the color itself. Shelby, I'm not sure if those are up yet or not online. It's called Love to Label. Yes. And so the label stickers are good for your cardstocks and your ink pads. There's another one that's kind of an oval shape that fits on their blending brushes, but you can use it on anything. And then they also have a stamp that would say royal icing, and then you can stamp your things. But if you don't have the stamps or don't want to get into that, that is totally okay. I just grabbed my favorite marker to write with, and I don't know if we have these anymore. It's called Le Pen, and it's a really nice black marker, and I just wrote the names on. And then that way I'll know what they are. And then on the back, I'll probably put a label that just says Tailored Expressions, or just write on the back that says Tailored Expressions so I know which company they are. So that way I'll always know, because if you don't separate your ink colors on separate swatch rings, you might not know which company they're from. So that way you can tell. So it's super easy to do. But now you've got this awesome swatch piece. And then you've got this panel. So when I cut this out, what I did was I took my trimmer. Let me grab that. And I trimmed off the swatch part first. But what you want to do is leave yourself as much of this area as you can, in case you want to trim it down to a certain size, or you want to use a die to cut out around the edges, like a stitch die or whatever. So when you use your trimmer, make sure you cut pretty close to the edge of these colors, because again, your die is going to cut off. Like you can see, it's more narrow than these swatches actually are. So you can get pretty close. Like, so I cut it like that. Now I can take my die and just go run this piece through the die cutting machine, and it leaves you all of this to make your front card panel. Okay. So what I did was I did something tricky. I decided to pull out the frayed edge stacklets from Tailored Expressions. I don't use these a lot. I love them. They are currently out of stock at Tailored, and we're sold out. But I have lots of people on the our notify list, and I'm on Tailored's notify list. So as soon as they become available again, we're going to order a whole bunch. But these are nesting, so there's like a bunch of small ones that go inside this. And then I was able to take this and sort of center my design in the middle of this die. Okay, so that's why you want to make sure you cut off, you know, only what you need to for this swatch part, and it leaves you room to put your die on here and then cut it out. So I'm going to quickly do that, and then I'm going to show you something else I did just to jazz it up and add some texture. So I'm die cutting off screen because my die cut machine is just easier to do off screen. I do have that cool new handle on here from Spellbinders that gives you more leverage. It's called My Turn. So my die cutting machine needs to be on the edge of my surface so that the handle can go down. And I can't do that live. I never really do much die cutting live anyway. But so there we have our panel, and it's got this beautiful frayed edge look. So you can leave it like this. But what I did was I took this embossing folder. This is called Halftone Dots. And I put my panel inside of this embossing folder. So I just slipped it in here, just lined it up. Now this is a linear pattern, so you want to make sure it's straight. Otherwise your lines are going to be going like wonky. And then I ran this through my die cut machine. And what that did was it created this look. So see how that is all like bumpy? So have you guys seen the perforated paper that you can get, which is kind of a cool look, but it's very expensive. And this is just as cool. We've done this with a burlap embossing folder too, and it also looks really cool. So you can see the edges of my panel are the frayed edge, which is a really cool look. You want to make sure you cut out that shape before you put it through the embossing folder. Because if you emboss your front and then you go to die cut out the frayed edge, you're going to squash all of your dots. And that's not what you want to do. So I'll hold this up nice and close so you can see kind of what that does. So again, this is called half tone dots. It's really, really cool. I love how it looks. So it just gives it a little bit of texture. So I've got that mounted on a piece of craft cardstock and then onto a card base. So all I have to do now is add whatever sentiment I want and a few gems, and it's going to look great. So talk about a fast, simple, easy card. And you can blend in any ink color combination that you want and any sentiment. So birthday, thinking of you, sympathy. I don't know. What else is there? Like those generic ones, thinking of you, just a note, all kinds of stuff that you can do this. So you could just make these panels up and have fun ink swatching. And then your cards are ready and you just wait and put your sentiments on whenever you're ready. But I just think it makes a very elegant card. So I'm just going to pull this one out of the embossing folder here again, just so you can see the different look that you get by adding the embossing folder on top. So something you can do or not do. Either way, it looks pretty cool. I like the way that looks. So it's just kind of fun. Double duty products all around. So your embossing folders can be used just to emboss backgrounds, but they can go right over top of stencil designs too. And then of course the stencil set we just used is a double duty product because you're not only going to get a panel that you can use, but you're going to get a really cool ink swatch that you can then save and go, you know what? I really love that color combination. I want to use that again. So I love it. It's pretty fun. Love the frayed edge and the stencil. Oh yeah. So frayed edge again is out of stock. If you want to be on our notify list, please send us an email because we will add you to that notify list. And as soon as they become available, then we will notify you. So Marianne says another level of awesome. I know, right? It's so cool. So now I'm going to do a little something here. I want to just take a minute and I would like you all to just take a minute when this video is done on our YouTube channel, or even now, I don't know if you can see it now, but give our video a thumbs up. It's really, really important. I see some people have done it already, and that's really awesome. So that's one thing I want you to do. The other thing you should do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, because each time we do a video, what's going to happen is you're going to get an email, and it's just going to say, hey, Two Scrapbook Friends just put a new video up. And then you can go and check it out, or you can not check it out, whatever you want to do. Delete the email, and then it's all over. But that way, it keeps you informed and you know what to expect when we are going live and where to find us. So this will live on our YouTube channel. If you are watching this on replay, hopefully if you didn't want to watch all that stuff at the beginning with the inspiration, you can just skip over all that and you can just start watching it right now. The other thing you can do is you can speed it up. Like you can watch at a faster speed. So I can sound like a little chipmunk, and you can, fast forward through things. And if you need to rewind and watch something again, you can do that too. So YouTube is a great thing. It will be on our Facebook page for 30 days and then it will expire. So just know that about Facebook. But either way, it's awesome. And yeah. Anyway, so that's it for today. If you have not checked your inbox yet, please do so. We have card swap information in there. We really, really hope to build that community. You guys got to try. It's going to be so fun. And the commitment isn't too bad. You have to stay active in the Facebook group. You just have to participate in a swap once in 4 months. So if you don't want to commit to huge amounts of creativity that way, then you don't have to. But I think once you do it once, you're going to find out that you want to do it over and over again. And there'll also be side swaps. So if you want to be busier, there'll be extra swaps going on that you can sign up for. But lots and lots of fun details. And we're going to be talking about that a lot. So go and check it out. There will be a social media post later on this evening with a link to the email. And you will see everything there. So that's what I know. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you again soon.